This conference will now be recorded.
Great. Okay. Definitely we will get to know more about each other, and welcome once again to all our dear friends who are over here. I can, uh, and those, okay. Raj, hi, welcome.
Hi.
Hi, Raj, welcome. And you can see a lot of friends of ours, they have joined over here with the holistic intention to know what we are going to cover. So there is a background noise slightly coming from someone. Okay. All right. Okay. So welcome once again, Vinayak, Sushil, Shadrak, Said, Rayan, Raj, Muhammad, Mehroz, John, Gorao, Espinado, and Ashish Sinha, one of my wonderful old friend. So welcome once again to all of you guys. In this particular session, we are going to first of all going to introduce ourselves. This is going to be 1 hour long session. I will give you a quick view of what is there in CCI data center. There is a background noise. If someone is not on mute, may I request you? All right, fine. This is going to be a quick 1 hour session in which we are going to discuss the CCIE data center track, that is what different technologies we are going to cover. Yes, in introducing and knowing to each other is very important. Let me tell you who am I, and it's going to be a quick what happened to my login? It should have been, I think I'm logged out. Anyways, so we'll tell you about myself. So about yourself, yes, definitely. I would like to know about you guys, where you people are working and what are your expectations and all. That is nothing but a introduction of each other. CCIE Data Center Certification and Training is the name of this particular course, version 3.0. And how this particular course is different from version 2.0 to 2.1. What additional we are going to look at into. In this particular session, right, a short session, we are going to discuss about our batch, our timings, what is there in the blueprint, what different technologies, we are going to cover, duration of the course, what different and where you can do the lab hands-on, what you can, what you cannot, and various study material. We are going to talk about all these things. A quick introduction about CCIE data center. CCIE data center is a two-step process. One is you have to clear your Q examination. I believe most of you people know it very well. Q is written examination, which is also a qualifying examination. This examination is of 120 minutes. Online examination, 90 to 100 questions you have to pass, and the passing percentage is approximately 80%. Once you are through with the written examination, within 18 months of clearing your written examination, you have to appear for the lab examination. Lab examination is in total 8 hours long examination, which is distributed now into 3 plus 5 hours. 3 hours is the design and 5 hours is the hands-on lab examination. So there are two modules in the lab examination, module 1 and module 2. Module 1 is a design module. Module 2 is deploy, operate, and optimize module. This module 1 is 3 hours, fixed module 5 hours, fixed module is module 2. This is based on scenario, and in the scenario you will be given, you know, how many questions? 30 questions to answer. Here comes a slight difference from the previous one. That is, previous in version 2.0, in version 2. Lab examination, this module 1 used to be 1 hour and 10 questions. Now it is 3 hours and 30 questions. Questions are scenario based. A scenario will be given to you just like a kind of a case study which you have to go through, and then based on that you have to answer 30 questions. Well, point values are hidden. Their backward navigation is not possible. Earlier it used to be possible. So once you have clicked one answer, you cannot come back to it. This is what is there in module 1. So be very careful when you are going for it. An incorrect answer cannot be corrected if you are on to the next question. All right. But this is not, a discussion about the technology. This is just about the lab. Okay, but technology is what we have to discuss. Lab equipment list. These are the different equipments which are used in the lab examination, and over this journey of our technology classes we will come across these different devices. We will get to know about each and every device. Not only that, we will get a chance and opportunity to configure them as well in conjunction to the technology where these devices are going to be used. So important thing for us is to know what different technologies we are going to cover. These devices are loaded with following operating systems: 7000, 5000, 9000, Fabric Interconnect, Apex, Data Center, Network Manager. Well, this was always their DCNM, and let me tell you, there is an enhancement over DCNM, and that is called Nexus Dashboard. My dear friends, in CCIE Data Center version 3.0, you are going to get the first time exposure not only to DCNM, Data Center Network Manager, if you wish to, but also an exposure to Cisco Nexus Dashboard. This is a beautiful tool, not only for configuration, but for monitoring as well, not for one device, but multiple devices. This tool helps us to avail various other application tools like Cisco Multi-Site Orchestrator. We will be using Cisco Nexus Dashboard to configure our multi-sites in ACI. Well, many things are there. Well, now this is a bird's eye view of different modules that we will be covering. Module number 1, which is a predominantly a Nexus module. In this particular module, we will talk about Nexus hardware, Nexus operating system, the very first technology called VPC. Of course, the labs will begin from over here, and then VXLAN. Of course, this part of the module 1, this technology in module 1 is incomplete without lab. And there is a good news, and the news is, as I keep on adding something new to each and every batch, this time with regards to this particular batch, let me give you a good news that there are going to be 2 labs which you will get a chance to do hands-on for the industry's most coveted technology today, called virtual extensible local area network. Nice. Without hands-on to the technology, it is incomplete to study. So that's the reason we have the hands-on onto each and every lab. Module 2, you may think, oh, this is such a small module. No, this is this is the biggest module. The total time which we are going to spend on this module is approximately 1 month. This is the most coveted technology today, called software-defined networking. This particular technology understanding will help us to understand not only the network virtualization but also the server virtualization concept. And the most strongest module is called ACI. In your lab examination, you will happen to see two sections dedicated to application-centric infrastructure. Section number 2 and section number 4 in your lab examination are dedicated to application-centric infrastructure. So then we have storage area networking, something which we really feel that we do not know this, but very important to know. We will study this particular module by establishing our understanding with LAN. That is, we will look at into this module as an analogy of our LAN setup. Whatever technologies, terminologies we have gone through so far and understood in local area network, that is one thing. What we know is over here is when we say local area network, we know something called Ethernet, right? But when it comes to SAN, you are going to study about fiber channel as a beautiful SAN protocol. Why should we study this? Comes a question. We need to study this for the purpose of UCS. The application of storage area networking you will happen to see in UCS. What is this UCS? UCS is nothing but, if you have heard of a terminology called compute. Compute is an advanced form of the server. It is wrong to say server only if we say compute. Compute is a complete architecture. What this architecture? Yes, architecture where storage area networking is also part of it. You know what? After studying this, we will go to this, but not only with UCS, but also with regards to SAN, because Hyperflex is nothing but hyper converged infrastructure, wherein we will see three different technologies shaking hands together. One is LAN, other is UCS, and other is SAN. A mixture of three technologies will become Hyperflex. And my dear friends, on third month, that is the final module of ours, will be the network automation. And in network automation, we will learn about the automation scripting with the help of Python. Once you are comfortable with Python, Ansible, you will be comfortable. So here in Python, we will learn about how to automate our configuration. So this is thus just a quick bird's eye view of our entire flow of 3 months long journey. Any question? My dear friends, my holistic intention is just to give you an overview what we are going to learn in this 3 months long journey. In case if you have any question in between about any of the module, any of the technology, please do. Our classes are going to be the live classes with the facility to avail the videos, of course, no charge, right? To listen to the recorded videos available in our stringnet.com portal, our LMP, learning and management portal, wherein you can go through the class videos also, but we highly encourage you to join our live sessions so that you can ask your question. And our classes are, of course, the interactive classes wherein the speed of the class depends on you. The accelerator is with you guys. Okay, module 1. What we do study in module 1 as Nexus module. Nexus hardware, Nexus NXOS, the VDC, the VPC, and VXLAN. Our labs will start from over here. VPC. We will be doing VPC lab, and we will be doing 2 labs on VXLAN. One lab demonstration I am going to give you, and once you are done with the demonstration, you can do easy hands-on. Other lab workbook I will give you with my full support in case if you need. But one thing is for sure, once you will happen to see the demo of one lab, and because in this particular second lab of VXLAN, you will see how we incorporate VPC as well. So this particular lab is going to be a combination of VPC and VXLAN together, and it is going to be the most beautiful lab because this was the lab which was covered in the lab examination version 2.1. All right, so this is about the very first topic in Nexus module called Nexus hardware. Don't worry, we are going to start. If you allow me, we will start this particular topic today only. In this particular topic, well, this topic was important with respect to version 1.0. In version 2.0, in version 2.1, in version 3.0, Cisco says, no, we are not going to ask you any question, but our understanding of data center will be incomplete unless and until we get to interact with switches, Nexus switches. We get to interact with the chassis, how the chassis are different, how Nexus chassis are different from that of the CAT chassis. In CAT 6500 series switches, we used to adjust the capability of switch based on its backplane capacity. But in case of Nexus, we don't use the term called backplane capacity. So backplane, we will see over here what actually is moved from backplane to something called backbone, which I call it as a backbone. And there is a device which forms the backbone, and that is called FM, fabric module. So we will be understanding what is this fabric module, how it forms the backbone, how the Nexus 9000 chassis are different from that of its predecessors, the conventional chassis. We will look at into the line cards. We will look at into the brain that is called the supervisor engine, and we will join all of them together to form what? To form one organism. All these devices together form one organism. We will see what part of our Nexus hardware forms the backbone, what parts form the brain, what part forms the limbs of this organism. All right, Nexus operating system, the one which is loaded in our Cisco Nexus switches. Which switches? Nexus 3000, 5000, 6000, 7000, Nexus 9000, Nexus 9000 switches, 9300 and 9500 series switches. They do have option to have a different operating system as well. This particular topic will give us a good understanding of Nexus operating system. Is it important from version 3.0 examination point of view? Answer is no. It is not important. But is it important from our knowledge point of view? And the answer is big yes, with positive exclamation on it. Right? So then a facility, I will not say a technology, but it is a facility available with our Nexus 7000 boxes called virtual device context. We will be looking at into in our third chapter. So our first chapter is going to be the hardware. Second chapter in first module is going to be operating system, and our third is going to be virtual device contexts. What is VDC? We will be looking at into in our third chapter of module 1. Then, as I said, VPC, virtual port channel, available on all the Nexus devices. The technology which do not need any special license to be purchased. The technology which comes along with the base license of our Nexus devices called VPC, one of the highest in demand technology. And this is the technology which has helped to say goodbye to the old conventional Cisco iOS. We will talk about it, and yes, our hand-on lab begins from this particular technology. Well, this particular component is the most ignored component so far, unless and until we are working in a service provider's network called multicast. The question comes is, why should we learn about multicast? This multicast is a part of routing and switching. Indeed, true. We looked at into multicast in our CCNP routing and switching called enterprise infrastructure. It is a part of CCIE enterprise infrastructure. It is a part of CCIE service provider. Then what is the use of multicast here? My dear friends, multicast here is basically for the technology called VXLAN. Let me tell you, we will start VXLAN technology, but before that, the understanding multicast is very important. So we will be spending one day in order to understand multicast. So multicast we will be learning during the journey of VXLAN. It is going to provide you an overview specifically towards what is a rendezvous point, what are the two variants of rendezvous point called Phantom RP and Anycast RP, because this is not our address resolution protocol, this is just Anycast RP. Guys, if you think I'm going pretty fast, please stop me, ask question, and I believe I should stop myself. And let me give opportunity to you people to ask a question. And yes, meanwhile, let me welcome Abdul, Farhan, and Sagar, Siddhant, welcome, Subhashish, welcome, Tabriz, and Yash. We welcome you guys. Okay, so this is actually once again an interactive session. I encourage you to ask any question in between if you have. So this is a structural overview of our first VXLAN lab. Here we will be using a beautiful network architecture along with our Linux running servers with the holistic intention to establish communication inside the VXLAN fabric, also with the servers which are outside VXLAN fabric. So our skills of routing and switching will be used over here. This is called VXLAN. We have, as I said, we are going to do 2 labs on VXLAN. The name of the very first lab is going to be Implement MPBGP EVPN VXLAN Control Plane, and second lab is Cisco VXLAN Configuration. In this particular lab, we will incorporate our VPC knowledge as well. VPC lab, indeed, we are going to do For the purpose of VPC lab, Cisco has provided us a tool called DCNM, which is a question. Oh, all right. This particular tool, this is called Data Center Network Manager. If you wish to configure your VPC with the help of the graphical user interface as provided by DCNM, you can do so, which is way more simpler, but we will be doing this lab using the CLI, our traditional way of configuring, right? And in VPC, we will make sure we have server on one side, we have server on the other side, and we do establish reachability between them. ACI is the second module. In this module, we have.
Hello, this is
Yes,
Farhan here. I have asked the question in
Farhan.
the chat box. If you can check that.
All right, sure. I'm so sorry, my dear friend. What happens actually is the chat box doesn't pop up, unless and until I see it. Oh, there are so many questions. Okay, let me address the questions which are there in the chat box. All right, first of all, my friend Muhammad asked, yes, Muhammad, you do have sufficient time to prepare today data center version 3 and go and give the lab examination. So need not worry about version 4.0. Don't worry that version 3.0 is not going to expire soon. In case if it is, at least the major release will not get changed. All right, it may be
Okay,
version
and
3.
I have one question in the middle because when you said that the version 3.0 is not changing now, so like, do we have Hyperflex at this moment with version 3.0?
Absolutely, my friend Farhan. We do have Hyperflex, and I'm going to come
Okay,
to it,
thanks.
right? And we do discuss Hyperflex, and we do have lab hands-on in for Hyperflex. Pretty important labs. Good question. By asking your question, guys, you're not only helping me, but you're helping others. So it is asking question is very much a social work, because some of our friends, they may not be asking questions. So all right. So if you are asking, you are helping others. All right. Go Rao, you have a question. Are we going to use these devices in lab practice? Go Rao, is this your name, or your name is to be pronounced as Gaurav?
You are pronouncing very correctly. So it's my Gaurav name.
Gaurav.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
So my dear friend Gaurav, for the purpose of practice, we are going to use Cisco D Cloud. The labs which I was telling you, those labs are available in Cisco D Cloud. VPC lab, VXLAN labs, Hyperflex labs, ACI labs, UCS labs, all these labs are available in Cisco D Cloud. Yes, I don't ignore, there are certain challenges in terms of some of our ACI labs, right, which I'll tell you. But when it comes to VPC, VXLAN labs, they are simply beautiful labs with a lot of devices. Yes, we are using those devices. About
Another question
practical,
I have, if you don't mind, is that
please.
I think the D Cloud, like what I know, have used that a lot because I'm a Cisco partner. And the problem with the D Cloud is that almost like 80% you can virtualize and you can play around with the D Cloud based on the scenarios. But the thing is that the challenge is that you cannot, customize that, and you cannot like do the customization and do the use cases which you want to do. Is that
Uh,
true?
you have a good point. And Farhan, dear friend, can you tell me with regard to which technology you are giving this reference?
It's in the reference of ACI.
Yes. Now, since you have asked this question, let me tell you, in dcloud, there is none of the lab in dcloud which can help you to configure ASAV, that is Adaptive Security Appliance. But you know what? We have mitigated this particular challenge. In one of the dcloud lab, ASAV is available with us as a .ova file, open virtual appliance file, just that is given. And you know what we have done? We have cracked, and with the help of our modifications, right, we are able to successfully deploy our adaptive security virtual appliance, pushing the configuration from our controller, right, installing the device package in our controller, configuring ASAV from our controller. We are able to do it. Yes, customization to a great extent not possible, but if you know the technology, right, you can customize it. For example, let me give you one classic example with regards to VMM integration. Since you asked this question, in dcloud you cannot ping between two different virtual machines, but you know, by understanding this challenge and understanding the challenge in the data plane traffic communication, we have mitigated it, and we have successfully enabled the communication between two virtual machines. That is a challenge. They give us a challenge, and we have faced that challenge and mitigated with much better understanding about data plane traffic. So that's what we are going to do in ACI.
Right. I
I will
mean
not.
that the dcloud is pretty. I mean the good useful tool to like do the labs and all practice all of that. But I mean some certain challenges also helps us to troubleshoot, like just learn the things better, which you said.
Absolutely. When there are roadblocks, we get better alternate paths as well. But where there is a will, where there is a way. So yes, I will not at all deny the fact that is dcloud in for ACI has a major challenge in terms of data plane communication, right? So indeed, I do accept it. And dcloud also has a challenge, let me tell you, with regards to the multi-pod. They do not have, I don't know in case if they have done any changes, they do not have the multi-pod lab. And we have mitigated this challenge by simplifying, by elaborating multi-pod as much as we can. It is available each and every step of configuration, both CLI as well as controller based configuration are available in our lab workbook. And once you will go through, once you understand, you will have. But hats
Okay.
off to dcloud. Dcloud is providing us ACI multi-site lab. Not only that, now starting from September 20th, thank you so very much to Cisco dcloud for introducing, you know, data center Nexus Dashboard, in which they have included the multicast right into it. So dcloud gives us the very first hands-on onto data center Nexus Dashboard, from where we do get our multi-site orchestrator to do our multi-site configuration. These are with a lot of challenges. There are a lot of facilities also.
Right, right. I mean, I think now even they have the Nexus dashboard, which I believe Nexus dashboard and the Nexus
Absolutely,
insights. Yes, yes, yes. We
absolutely.
have that. Yeah.
They have replaced, or they have merged Cisco MSO multi-site orchestrator right into the Nexus dashboard. So this means in order to configure your ACI multi-site, first you have to log in to Nexus Dashboard. You have to add sites using Nexus Dashboard, and then you open MSO for the further configuration.
But you know what? I could not find service graph sort of like labs over there, or PBR,
Absolutely.
those sort of labs. Yes.
PBR labs, if you ask me, I can find out. Even I never thought of finding policy-based routing labs. But as far as service graph is concerned, there is no lab for service graph configuration in dcloud. But as I just said, ASAV lab, wherein we do create service graph templates for the purpose of ASAV. We have got one lab created, not provided by dcloud, but we have got this lab created in our Cisco dcloud, one of the lab. For ACI, there are so many labs, but only in one lab this facility is there, and I don't know who knows about it, but we have cracked it, right? So you will get an opportunity to configure service graph. And if you have a device package for load balancer or for non-Cisco device like Palo Alto, FortiGate, etc., and you have a prior knowledge of it, I'm sure you will be able to do. Once I will give you demonstration of ASAV in ACI. Right, Farhan?
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks a lot.
You are welcome. Any other question, my friend? Thank you so much, Farhan, first of all, to you for helping me and helping everyone out over here by asking so challenging questions. Guys, please ask whatever challenging question you have. I'm here to face those. Let me be very, very honest. I'm not 100%, foolproof. I am also learning. Every day is a new learning day. But in case if I'm not able to give answer to your questions, then I will learn and will get back to you.
One
All
one
right,
question I
look,
have. One final question. I mean, the service graph in the ACI is same as to the service insertion in SD-WAN, right?
SD-WAN. I'm sorry, Farhan. I don't have the knowledge of SD-WAN, but I believe so. Yes, service insertion in SD-WAN. What I can do
Okay.
is I have a friend working in Cisco, expert in SD-WAN. I can get the answer cross-checked with him.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks a lot.
All right, here comes a question. Let me go through all the questions which are asked. Marian, have the ACI current version also problem with TCAM? Marian, my dear friend, current version of ACI, which is provided to us in dcloud, well, which is with very few organizations nowadays, is 5.21G. So far, we have not seen any issue with regards to this version with TCAM. No, I have not seen. Maybe I'm not denying the fact that could be because it is a new version, and whenever a new version comes, it comes with some bugs. I'm apprehending some bugs, but so far, no, not come across. But I have seen a lot of beautiful changes which are done in 5.2 version, as against I have worked on version 2.x, version 3.x, version 4.x. But when I was working on this version, I thought of some changes. I did suggest some changes in my mind, got incorporated here, then got incorporated over here. And now the changes which were expected, now the changes got incorporated in the major release. Here comes another question. I think also bugs are fixed after so many stable releases. Yes, Marianne, my friend, I do believe so. I do have full trust on Cisco development team that a lot of bugs were found. And well, 5.2, I do say that this is the most reliable because lot of bugs which were there got fixed, along with whatever required cosmetic changes were there. And that's the reason for 5.2, in my understanding, is the most stable version with beautiful cosmetic changes. Okay, and let me go through in case if I have missed any question. Are you going to do this lab? All right. Gaurav has a question. Gaurav, I'm so sorry for seeing your question now. About practical, are we going to do labs in EvenG or any different simulator? Gaurav, I'm not going to do these labs in EvenG, nor that I will recommend you to do these labs on EvenG, because EvenG is not a tool which can provide you specifically ACI labs. What you can do in EvenG is you can just run a simulator, ACI simulator, which is just a very small tool, which will not provide you a lot of leverages because of single spine and two leaf switches. So I never recommend anyone to use EvenG. Okay, and Marian has just asked another question, and also over two pods, we can connect ASA with PX Grid and ICE. ICE is Identity Service Engine, PX Grid, I think it is something Cisco PIX. We can connect ASA with PIX Grid and ICE. Marian, I have to check this. I am not sure unless and until I get to know the topology requirement. But as I said, ASAV, yes, we can install, we can configure.
Can I answer that? I mean, if you don't mind.
Yeah, but Farhan, yes, go ahead.
Yeah,
Why not?
yeah. So
Exactly.
yes, we can integrate. I mean, you know, the ACI with your APIC bound to your DNS center, which is again like integrate to your ICE. So if you are looking for ACI to SDA integration, so that is possible. Yes.
Hmm. Well, by the way, ACI is very much versatile, and it is, though Cisco's proprietary, but very much industry standard, is made to be compatible with various other vendor devices and the operating systems and appliances. Okay, no split brain scenario with more pods on ACI installation. Well, split brain scenario we do talk about in VPC. We do talk about in UCS, but Marianne, what split brain scenario you want to talk about in ACI? Are you referring to the multipod, or are, okay, I know in the backbone core, we need extra line or distributed level for security, that role, okay, Cisco Tech in 2018. Okay. So Marianne, can you please type the question, what split brain scenario you are foreseeing in ACI? And if I have understood your question correctly, answer is no. There will be no split brain scenario because of the control plane. Why? Because control plane is with the leaf and the spine switches and not with the controllers. We have some Cisco ASA with normal standard iOS without, before the core engine, without next generation firewall function. So Marian, I think you are very much into security. Your questions are very much related to security. Really appreciate you for that. And if you can speak, Marianne, would really appreciate you. Good that you're asking a lot of security questions, but let me tell you, my friend, in ACI, we don't have, highly technical security architecture, though we can integrate with the highly technical security architecture. We can also clarify. Yep. 101, we can definitely clarify as well. Whenever you want, you can call me. All right, good. Gaurav, I am network security guy, routing and switching and firewall. Will you help us to understand from base? I am new. Absolutely, Gaurav. This session is this CCIE data center is not for those who already know. It is a zero to hero course, wherein, as I said earlier, our module one talks about hardware, software, VDC concept, VPC, VXLAN. It is a gradual, movement from bottom to up. So yes, from day one, if you're joining, everything from the basic, from the zero till hero level will be covered. So, well, if you are a network security guy, routing and switching and firewall, means your basic foundation is fairly well prepared, and now you are good to go for the data center, because the prerequisite of data center is routing and switching. Any other question, guys, if you want to ask? VXLAN answers also other security basements there over and under lay structure of ACI and SDN. Absolutely. VXLAN is not only a complete protocol, but also this particular is a protocol used as a control plane protocol in ACI fabric, and that is the reason we make sure to do VXLAN labs prior to jumping over to ACI. And of course, VXLAN is combined with MPBGP EVPN, wherein we use address family L2 VPN EVPN, which forms the control plane. Marianne, you are absolutely right. Appreciate your knowledge and contribution in this regard. Guys, any other question you have? Comment. And I hope I am not missing any of your questions. Marianne, my dear friend, you are more than welcome. Anytime, anytime. All right. So after module 2, guys, the chat window is gone on my taskbar, which is not good, because in case if you're asking any question in between, I should not miss the question. So ACI, what we are going to talk about in ACI, just an overview. And this is the list of the lab. But let me tell you, our lab, ACI labs, do not end with just these 13 labs which I'm showing you over here. But besides this, we do have some other labs as well. We have customized some labs, and you can see something over here. With regards to adaptive security appliance service graph lab, it is not that we are going to do ASAV in L3 mode, which is routed mode, but we will be doing ASAV in transparent mode, which is L2 firewall. We will do the configuration of L3 as well as L2 firewall right from our controller. Well, you will happen to see, and you will be very excited to go through the ACI lab. Storage area networking, a very important topic, something new. And as I said, we will be learning this topic in conjunction with local area networking. Whatever technologies we know, the terminologies we know, we will be establishing an analogy, and then we will derive our local area network storage area network understanding. Something different for all of us, but very, very important if we really want to be a data center network architect. Though in the real production environment, we will hardly get a chance to work on SAN, but if we know this technology, we will be confident to work with the team which is dedicated to storage area networking. So very important, and this topic is important for the sake of our unified computing system as well. And here comes module number 5, Hyperflex, which is nothing but HCI solution, hyper converged infrastructure solution. As I said, this is a combination of LAN, SAN, and UCS, 3 technologies together merged. And we do have labs installing Hyperflex, installing, configuring Hyperflex. And you know what? There is going to be a bonus over here, a bonus technology which you guys will be doing, and the name of the technology is called CWOM, Cisco Workload Optimization Manager, integrated with Hyperflex for the purpose of fine tuning, right? This is, you know what? This is network performance monitoring and orchestration tool. With the help of CWOM, we will look at into the issues in our network, say in our virtualized network, and we will fix the issues right from this particular tool, Cisco Workload Optimization Manager. Your question should be now, is this included? Is this a part of CCIE data center? And answer is no. Is it important to learn? Answer is yes. Right? In case if you have gone through earlier, there used to be a tool called Cisco Prime, Cisco Works, etc. This is the enhancement over those previous tools. All right, so time is running fast. The Python for network automation, another very important for network automation. Guys, Python, we are not going to learn to become the Python or the web developer. Python, we will learn with the holistic intention of automating our network automation. If you know the how to write the scripts, what are different data structure operators, comments, conditional statements, and iterative statements in Python, you are decently equipped to do network automation. This is what we are going to learn in Python. And if you know Python, then rest other scripting languages like Ansible, like Postman, like Terraform. You will be very comfortable with those scripting languages as well. But with this particular module is taken as the last module because we need to know what is ACI, how to do the configuration, what is Nexus operating system, how to do the configuration. Why? Because we will use Python to automate the configuration predominantly in our ACI fabric. The task which our controller does using graphical user interface, the same task we will learn to do with the help of Python. This will conclude our CCI data center track with 6 different modules. Question, please, in case if you have any, before I go to the next one. No, the chat window is also silent. You know what? Anytime you can interrupt me. Feel absolutely free. Study material. Dear friends, once you will enroll, you know what? We will request you immediately to create your login account with stringnet.com. Once you will create your account, once you will sign up to stringnet.com, right? As we will go ahead with the different modules, we will keep on assigning you different course study materials. Let me give you a quick look on the various course study materials. For example, you have content like videos for, well, this is the admin account, so let me log in into a user account. No, not the admin. Log out. Okay, log in again. All right. Okay, then under my courses, once we will go ahead with the module, we will keep on assigning you the module, for example, Nexus, wherein you will get to see all the videos, the lab workbooks, which keeps on increasing in numbers for double-sided VPC, the study material, whatever study material in the form of PDF, etc., whatever you require basically. And we always appreciate your feedback. So there you will get a feedback tab to provide your feedback about the material, about how the classes are going on. Feedback will go to the administration team, which will evaluate how much happy you are or any important suggestion you have. So this is applicable with regards to all the courses, you know, all the courses, all the modules, for each and every module, as well as important topics. For example, VXLAN, there is a separate Hyperflex, Nexus, storage area networking, SDXS. It's not for us. Cisco UCS, CCNA data center and CCNP data center, if you wish to, can be assigned to you, wherein you will have leverage to get various documents. And CCIE ACI. The predominant study material, practical material, which I do recommend is this and this only. Cisco 3D interactive catalog is good enough for our Nexus hardware understanding. If you wish to, you can go to Cisco DevNet, and I will recommend you to go for Cisco UCS platform emulator. It is a .ova file which you can install for the purpose of practicing your UCS module. Titanium is there. EVNG is also there if you wish to. If you have good hands-on onto EVNG, you can use EVNG, you know what for? For your VPC, for VXLAN labs. You can use EVNG for UCS also. But I will not recommend you to use EVNG for ACI, because what max you can run in EVNG is just the simulator, which is not sufficient enough. This is our star. 5-star. I would like to give to this. Very much helpful. Study methodology. Slow and steady always win the race. Do prepare your class notes, discuss your doubts, do labs by shadowing, by doing it. And during this journey, please do make friends, because to crack CCIE data center, it is always push and pull technology that works. Alone cannot do it. Punctuality is the key to success. Today we started our class sharp at 7:30. We'll make sure always to be punctual unless and until there is a challenge. So that is because we have a limited time. Our classes will be Monday to Friday. At this particular time is IST. This will also be IST. There may be certain slight change in the timing, say based on your request. We can start at 7:30 till 9 p.m. IST. Based on your geographical location, you can estimate the time. How many hours of practice labs are included? And answer is unlimited. There is no limit or no bar in terms of how much you want to practice. It is available 24/7, 365 days in a year across 4 different data centers. Is bootcamp also included in this session? And answer is no. No bootcamp. This is going to be a pure technology oriented session wherein we do take deepest possible dive. More questions if you have any. Let me see in case if there are some questions on the chat. All right. Sorry, other question. Can all Cisco Nexus models used for ACI installation now? Marian, I'm sorry, only this question is not can all Cisco Nexus. All right, are you talking about ACI? No, for ACI, we do have Nexus 9K, which means Nexus 9500 for our spine switches and Nexus 9300 for our leaf switch purpose. No 3K, no 5K, no 7K. Richard, how many students have passed CCI lab having followed your training? Well, good question, Richard. And you know what? Let me see. I would like to request my dear friend Ashish Sinha here in this particular batch who cleared CCIE Data Center version 2.1 in the year 2019. So Ashish, why don't you give answer to this question? Why should I say? How many students?
Ashish, sorry.
So how many, according to your knowledge, passed version 2.1 with my training?
Yeah, it's a good experience, Ashish. That's because I joined here for the version 3.
Yes, so you are my friend since 2018. You joined me first in version 2.1?
Yes, I joined in 2018 and I have done version 2.0 and version 2.1. Then I go to write the exam on November 2019 and then I cleared my lab.
Awesome. So Richard, I think you got answer. I do believe it's more than 70 students, right, in version 2.1 passed. Well, but my intention is never to teach the dumps. I don't teach dumps. I teach technology. I holistically believe that if you know the technology, you can pass. Right? And sorry, in case if anybody is over here, just thinking that I'm going to teach dumps. I'm not going to teach dumps over here. Any question? Yes, Gaurav, even I love to learn and teach technology. You know, there are hundreds of numbers, thousands of numbers, but very few technologists in the industry. Okay, what else? All right, during the class session, you know, earlier I used to say, please don't ask any non-disclosure agreement question, but you know, let any kind of question come. Whatever question is there, I will address your question either in line during the session, or I can address all your questions, anything related to non-disclosure agreement also offline with you. So you guys can be very much abrupt asking any question. I will not stop. I'm just taking the leverage, you know. And last but not the least, I do believe in a lifelong relationship. As far as I'm alive, live, and on version 3.0, and whenever, our relationship will never stop. You can join either morning IST batch or evening IST batch. You can take n number of session. I honor, I respect your work, the timings, the challenges in terms of you know, different geographical locations you are located. Considering all these facts, there will be no restriction in terms of number of sessions, number of classes you want to join. Okay, John has asked a question. In case I missed out a bit, is cost addressed here or backend? A bit. Number one, John, in case, first of all, I do understand, as I said, you may happen to miss certain classes. Once you'll enroll, you will get the access to the class videos, the previous recorded class videos. You can listen to those videos before or after the class, as the case may be, or as you wish to. No, that's not my question. Okay, what's the question? Cost addressed here or backend. So what do you mean by cost addressed? Money, of course. He is asking about cost. Money, of course, the program cost. So what do you mean by program cost?
He's
You
asking the fees for the course.
want fees. You want, in case if you don't attend, then okay, this is a question should go to the admin and not to me. I'm a trainer. I'm not the admin. So, well, please do get this question addressed from the admin team. They will definitely answer this question of yours. Okay, welcome John from Orhan. Hope. Okay, great. So now please get this question addressed, John. All right, so both of you were Orhan's student. Wonderful. Great. Great, great, great. I know even he is a very dedicated trainer. All right. Can I pay in again, Gaurav? This is a question that should go to the admin team. Well, I am not the right person to answer this question. I am just a trainer who is ready to welcome your feedback, comments, questions, complaints, anything, but not something related to, you know, money matters. Any other question? Anything technical? Sync later, okay? And all right, yeah, John and Farhan, good platform you got. Please do sync up. Any other question, guys? Okay, fine. Hope that you people will be in sync in this particular batch. Okay. If no question, then let me wish you a very happy weekend.
One final question I want to ask is,
Please, Raj.
you said there's a design part to this, right? So will we have
Yes.
any discussion on the like the optimal design for the data center, something like that?
As of now, I have not yet designed it, because design comes after understanding the technology. But if you wish to, we can talk about it. And well, when it comes to design question, as I understand, it predominantly covers your Hyperflex. So Hyperflex knowledge means knowledge of LAN, SAN, UCS, and all. But we can discuss it. Not
Yeah,
very
I mean,
specifically.
the exam has a 3 hour part on design, right? So is it related to the data center overall design, or just questions based on the technologies?
Yes, just based on the technologies, not the overall design. The lab, it will
Okay.
be related to overall, architecture of the data center.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Hmm?
Hi, Ashish.
Hi, John.
Yes, if I may
John.
ask one very quick question about this program. We all come from diverse backgrounds and experiences. There's one, I know there are a number of persons trying to, who try to seek a job after this program, for those who are not working yet and who are somewhat new to the program. If you go for data center interviews, there are certain basic questions they ask you. Things like connectivity, power, rack, equipment, specifications, and stuff like that. Hardly will you ever find any training for data center that tells you, okay, these are the specifications for fiber, what an MPO is, what specifications for rack and switches and power and all that stuff. So if you could go out of your way to just, like you mentioned, you are going to treat the CWOM technology as an addition. So it will help a lot fill in the gap, because even these days, a lot of DC guys, people who do stuff, you work remotely and you handle a lot of BGP stuff and do all that remotely. You never get to see any physical equipment. So if you can, with your experience, you've worked over the years from version 2.1 till this very version, I know you have seen a lot of data centers physically and the kind of stuff, things like migration projects for critical infrastructure. Like I mentioned, hyperscale projects for data. If you know, there are hyperscale data centers like those for Facebook, Google, and all that. How do you transition from just studying? If you study the CCIE and you go and apply for such a job, you might not know what a fiber connector is. So if you can kindly fill in the gaps in the course of this program by talking a bit about all these things like how do you get equipment, processes like that, just it would help a lot. It's just an appeal.
Yeah, John, I understood. And when you were telling me this, it was helping me to remind, all the stuff which I'm doing today and I used to do in my past. So during this session, I would encourage you guys to make the session more interactive, more friendly in terms of asking your queries. Whatever knowledge I have on top of this curriculum, I will definitely would like to pour that knowledge to you people, right? So, yep, I will definitely consider this. But of course, I will make sure that anything regarding the non-disclosure commitment with the organization of yours and of mine, they are not compromised. So, because a lot of things are there, right, which cannot be shared. So I will not at all go out of those commitments, the corporate commitments, and at my personal level, whatever I know, whatever information I have gathered, I will definitely share with you. But for that, please be very proactive in asking the questions. I really appreciate you asked this question to me. Thank you so much, John.
Thank you.
All right. Any other question, dear friends? If you have, please be absolutely free to ask. Let's be abrupt. I'm always ready to listen to challenges and criticism.
My question is, I think,
Yeah,
who's that?
Farhan.
Ashish, right? Yeah.
Yes, my name is
Yeah.
Ashish.
So yeah, Ashish. So my question is like, when I mean the CCI labs centers are going to open in India, because of COVID, it's still not
Okay,
open, and it's difficult to go to the other locations.
you are right, my friend. CCI Cisco office, APAC office is just 5 kilometers from my house. Mm, but for since 2020, well, it was earlier, Cisco office was just opposite to my office. But since 2020, the office is absolutely in a shutdown state. And I don't have any knowledge. But as I heard from my friends working in Cisco, that the Cisco do not have any plan to open till December 2021. I believe, I hope 2021 first quarter, it will be opened. Let's hope for the best. Pray to the God that no new variant of COVID comes. Cisco is very sensitive and very sensible about the safety of its employees and its customers. So
Right.
I
Agreed.
can't,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're talking
But
about the, I mean, I think Marathali office near to Cloud Basement,
yes,
right?
Cessna
Oh,
Business
okay.
Park office of
Yeah. I
Cisco.
used to work there.
Bef-
I used to work there.
Yes, so the entire campus,
Okay, that's
Cisco
great.
campus,
Yeah.
is in a shutdown state.
Right. Know that. Yes.
As far as Dubai, Gaurav, is concerned, yes, it is opened uh, intermittently. Some of my friends, yes, they are going to Dubai for the exam. So then after India, Dubai is the nearest location, or you can go to Brazil's. Yes, Gaurav. Marian, about Amsterdam, I really do not know that there is Cisco lab in Amsterdam, maybe a mobile lab, but I'm not very sure about. Yes, for the Europe, the nearest lab is in Brazil's, that's in Hungary.
It's Belgium, I
In Belgium,
think. Brussels,
uh,
right?
you
Should be Belgium.
Brazil's. Oh, it's in Belgium. I'm sorry, never been over there. Okay. And then Sydney in Australia, I don't know about when it's going to be open. But yes, in case if someone is looking for the lab, then Dubai is the nearest location after India. But let's hope for the best. That's what I can say. But this doesn't put any halt to our learning. All right. Any other question, guys? Okay. If no question, let's say goodbye. Thank you so much. Wish you a very good weekend and hope to see you on Monday. Yes, the class is started. No more any kind of halt. On Monday, we are going to talk about Nexus hardware. I thought of talking about Nexus hardware today, but no worries, on Monday. All right. Thank you, guys. Once again, thank you so much for joining and showing your confidence, and appreciate all your questions. Bye-bye.